What's going on YouTube? This is BMCool247 and this is a Draw 2 Summon 2 character deck profile for Yami Bakura, or Dark Bakura as he may be known in the anime, because he is the evil side of Bakura, as opposed to the gentle Englishman Bakura that we all know and love. So these decks are intended to be easy to use cards, have a ton of variety, and a ton of nostalgia. So let's go ahead and get on into it. This deck is built around mostly decking out your opponent, but there is some burn damage and change of heart kind of cards there, and literally kind of cards in here as well for the theme. So first we're going to run 3 Dark Necrofear. This card, once destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard after summoning him from banishing 3 fiends, you can essentially take control of one of your opponent's face-up monsters. I'm sure you've used this before, but it's like a Snatch Steal if you're familiar with that card. So you can take control of their monsters. So you can guess if I'm running 3 of those, we're going to have a lot of fiends in here for bringing him out. 2 fiends here, Dark Master Zork, a ritual monster. So essentially, long story short here, you want to roll anything but a 6, then you're able to destroy your opponent's monsters with the other rolls there. So 2 Dark Master Zorks as a ritual fiend at level 8. 1 Dark Ruler Hades. So can't be special summoned from the grave, unfortunately, but you can negate the effects of monsters destroyed by battle with fiend monsters you can control, which is 95% of your deck. Puppet Master, another level 6. When this card is tributed, summoned, you can pay 2,000 life points and target 2 fiends in your graveyard, special summon those targets, but they can't attack this turn. So you're essentially bringing him out and then bringing out, reboarding 2 fiend monsters that can't attack this turn. So interesting card there. Good to have later game because you'll probably have some beefy fiends in your grave. The Earl of Demise, a vanilla 2000 level 5. And then we're going to have a lot of other vanillas in here for the nostalgia purpose, easy to play. And then since this is a Draw 2 Summon 2 format, you can tribute them off away if they suck, like that card. Lady of Faith. Bakura runs in here. You can see there are a lot of ghost and freaky cards that you would see in a haunted mansion here. Headless Knights has decent stats. Earthbound Spirit's a good stalling card. So there are all the vanillas level 4 or lower there. Then we're going to get to some effect monsters here. Doom Caliber Knight cannot be special summoned either, but during either player's turn when a monster effect is activated, so even your own, tribute this face-up card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. Not an option. So if they use any effect whatsoever, that effect's negated, and then this card is destroyed. Or destroy that monster too, and then he's destroyed. Sangan, I don't like to do a lot of searching cards for the deck because that takes a while, and that's not the point of these character decks, but we are just running one of them, so you can go grab a monster from your deck as long as this guy was sent from the field to the grave, either by battle or card effect, or tribute. White Magical Hat, when this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life point, 1 card must be discarded randomly from your opponent's hand to the grave. Gurnia, when this guy is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard when he's face up, special summon it during your standby phase. Electric Lizard's a little stall, so a non-zombie attacking Electric Lizard cannot attack on its following turn. Man-Eater Bug, Bakura used against actual people. He actually summoned this in real life and went to go eat people. That's the purpose of it. Man-Eater Bug. Morphing Jar. So this is starting to finally get into some maybe decking out. Although this is just drawing, but if they do have a beefy hand, this is going to start heading down a decking out kind of style. Yeah, they discard all the cards in their hand and draw 5 cards for both sides. Good and goat, as you may know. Needleworm, so this one's a straight discard 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck to the graveyard, so they can't even use it in their hand. Only running one because I wanted to have this deck do other things too than just mill their deck or from their deck to their grave. Yami is a good field spell for this because it gives fiends and spellcasters 200 attack and defense and lowers fairies. Spiritualism, to add to the theme here, returns a spell or trap from your opponent's side of the field to their hand. This activation cannot be negated by any other card. Premature Burial, it's a monster reborn essentially by paying 800 life points. Chain Energy, so both you and your opponent must pay 500 life points to play or set cards from your hand. So unfortunately that hurts you too, but it's a nice, this is starting to get a little burny there, but for the theme. Gravekeeper's Servant's the perfect card in this deck for your opponent sends one card from the top of the deck to the graveyard and they cannot declare an attack. So imagine drawing 2 and summoning 2 every turn for these decks. You can run out of cards fairly quickly, so this whole strategy is actually going to come easier sooner rather than later, especially if you have cards like Dark Necrofear and a 2800 defense that can change a heart your opponent's monster. Speaking of change a heart, we have change a heart here, a broken banned card that we are playing. I don't think I need to describe that one of why that's in here. Well, also because it's Bakura's card. Contract with the Dark Master, ritual summons Dark Lord Zork. We got the 4 staples that I like to use in my character decks. I always like to have some removal there, spell or trap removals. Zoma the Spirit. So this is the most broken trap card, especially in speed duels. But you can special summon this card in defense as an effect monster. And if your opponent's monster destroys this guy by battle, you can inflict damage to them equal to the attack of that monster. So that's a good stall card, and it's also can be used for tribute for later, or it can be a 1800 attack for later. As long as you special summon it during the end phase, you can flip it to attack mode. I love this card, Dark Spirit of the Silent. You are able to, if they have at least 2 monsters on the field, when one of them attacks, you can select the other one and make it attack that one. So it makes them, it's evil. It's such an evil card. I used to run more than one of them, but I'd rather go for variety in here, as you can tell. Robbing Goblins. So every time your monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent's life points, discard 1 card randomly from the opponent's hand and send it to the graveyard. And then Just Desserts. It is a burn card, but he does use it, so I'm including it in here. So you can win either through decking them out or burning them for game. So hope you guys like this deck profile. I like building these and running them against each other with all this variety and easy to use, easy to understand, limited searching except for saying in there in the deck too. So you can just play the game more. Like I don't even include Graceful Charity for that reason. So hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.